Huh? What are you doing in my swamp?
Hello everybody, this is Overboy and I'm going to be doing my review for the 1999 movie Big Daddy. So this movie is directed by Dennis Dugan and stars Adam Sandler as Sonny Koufax, a ignorant man-child who is trying to avoid all the responsibilities in his life, and when his girlfriend is about to break up with him, this kid shows up on his doorstep that is his friend's kid, and he agrees to take care of him while his friend is away and everything, convincing social services that he is the kid's father and stuff, and so he's taking care of the kid. At first he doesn't really know how to take care of him and stuff, and everything, but he's trying to impress his girlfriend, and she breaks up with him for an older man, so he's stuck with this kid until they find him a better home at social services, and he's going around with this kid, taking him places, teaching him different things, all kinds of crazy stuff, like how to make people who are skating in the park trip over sticks, peeing on buildings, stuff about different music and everything, and he's just kind of like that cool father figure to the kid, and lets him do what he wants, let him have his own name, make his own choices and stuff, and he tries to be that cool dad to this kid, and they form a really good relationship, and it helps Sonny into doing into being more responsible and stuff. And as the movie progresses, eventually Julian gets taken away by social services, which is expected, and they have a court trial and everything, and during this court trial Sonny has this relationship with his father that throughout the movie they kind of bump heads throughout the movie, and it all comes down to a big climax with him and his father talking it out in the courtroom, and everything. It's a really weird courtroom scene though, because it's one of the most unrealistic courtroom scenes I've ever seen in a movie, but this movie's ending is just completely unrealistic and stuff, and you kind of have to go into Adam Sandler movies not expecting realism, or you're going to be disappointed, because his comedies are known for not having realistic endings and stuff, but yeah, of course he loses custody of Julian, which is probably the most realistic thing in this movie. In real life he would have been in prison and stuff for kidnapping and everything, but yeah, this is a pretty fun movie. Adam Sandler is just absolutely great in here as Sonny Koufax. This is one of my favorite performances of his in a comedy. I think he's really good in this movie, and the chemistry he has with Dylan and Cole Sprouse as Julian works really well, and it's part of what makes this movie so good, is because Dylan and Cole Sprouse were just really great as Julian in this movie, and it's crazy seeing how big they would become later down the line. But you got all of Adam Sandler's normal buddies here, Alan Covert, Steve Buscemi, Jonathan Lundgren, and Peter Dante, and Rob Schneider are all in this movie, and they're all a lot of fun to watch. As always, you kind of expect to see them in his movies, especially back in that time period and everything. I like all of them. And Leslie Mann plays Corinne, who's his roommate's girlfriend. His roommate's played by Jon Stewart early in his career, and she's pretty funny too. Leslie Mann is pretty humorous. She doesn't like Sonny throughout the movie and everything, so she's always kind of being mean to him, but she's funny. And Jon Stewart is really good too. He's only in here for a couple scenes, but he's good in the scenes that he's in. And I think all of the cast are great in here, which Adam Sandler and his friends always work great together, and that's part of the appeal of the movies for me, is watching him and his friends just doing silly stuff in movies. That's all these Adam Sandler's movies really usually are when it comes to his comedies. They're just turn your brain off movies. If you don't turn your brain off, there's a lot of logical issues in all of his movies, and this is definitely one of the ones that if you don't turn your brain off, it could really ruin the movie for you and everything. But it is still a lot of fun, and it has a pretty good soundtrack too. It has a lot of really good songs in here, especially Sweet Child of Mine. They have two different versions. They have the Guns N' Roses version playing during the credits, which is my preferred version, but they also have Sheryl Crow's version, which is actually played in the movie, and I think she did a decent job on the song and everything. I prefer Guns N' Roses version, but I think her version is still pretty decent, and this just has a lot of that signature humor and stuff from Adam Sandler, his grown-up man-child humor that you're either going to love it or hate it. If you're like me and have been a fan of Adam Sandler for so long, it probably won't bother you. I've been a fan of him since I was a teenager, so it doesn't bother me as much. It kind of takes me back to my teen years when I watched this movie, because I watched this movie a lot as a teenager. It's actually one of the few Adam Sandlers that I actually watched as a kid too. It was the very first movie of his that I ever saw, so I kind of have a special place in my heart because of that too. But all in all, I really like Big Daddy. I think it's a lot of fun. It has a lot of really funny moments too. Like I said, the stuff when he's teaching them how to knock the skaters down in the park, and all the really jacked up stuff he does. There's just something, the way it's played out in the movie just makes it hilarious and everything. I just really enjoy this movie and everything. So I'd say I'd give Big Daddy a 8 out of 10. I know that's probably more than it really deserves, but on a personal entertainment level for me, I just love this movie and I have a lot of fun with it. And it's one I always enjoy rewatching when I'm watching Adam Sandler's stuff. So it's definitely one of his best movies still to this day. So I'd say I'd give it an 8 out of 10 for sure. But anyway, let me know in the comments what you think of Big Daddy. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and have a good day, everybody.